Good afternoon, Year 4. This is your science lesson for Tuesday, the 2nd of March. So we are going to investigate what happens when substances change state. Okay, we're going to describe ways we can change the state of materials. You're going to compare how different substances can change state, and you're going to assess how heating and cooling affect the properties of substances. Okay, so we're just going to actually focus on one substance today, which is water. Okay, so the first thing I want you to have a think about is I want you to think about how we can show water in 3 different states. So let's just remind ourselves of the 3 different states of matter that we looked at last week. We have solids, liquid, and gas. So have a little think about how water can be shown as a solid. How can water be shown as a liquid? Well, that's pretty obvious. But also, how can it be shown as a gas? What would we have to do to it, and what would it turn into? Okay. So, our experiment, this is what I want you to investigate this afternoon, boys and girls. Now, you're going to need your adults to help you with this, okay? So, ask them very nicely if they'll come and give you a hand. So, does hot water freeze faster than cold water? So, if we heat some water up and then pop it in the freezer, and we have normal water and pop it in the freezer, which one is going to freeze faster? Okay, I would like you to make some predictions about that. So, what do you think will happen? Do you think that the hot water will freeze faster? Or do you think that the cold water will freeze faster? What materials are you going to need to use in order to conduct this experiment? So how are you going to do it? What will you need? And how are you going to ensure it's a fair test? Now, every experiment we've carried out in school, boys and girls, we have been thinking about how it is a fair test. So if we are changing the temperature of the water, what are the things that we need to keep the same? Now, remember when we did our experiment about the teeth decay and we used the eggs, what did we do with the liquids? Okay, have a little think about that in order to help you to make it a fair test. Okay, then how are you going to conduct it? So your method is what are you going to do? How are you going to conduct this experiment? Okay, write that down. It's sort of your instructions, isn't it? And then I would like you to monitor the experiment throughout the afternoon, and then eventually I would like you to record your results. And then pop all that on the sheet that's also on Teams for you to do and send it back into school. If you have extra time, or if you'd like to do another experiment, I found a really cool one that you could do, and it's called instant freeze water. Now the link's there, and I'll post the link on Teams for you. This is something that you do not have to do, but I think it looks really cool. So if you've got time and you've got the resources and your adults are willing to help you, you could do this experiment too. And if you do, it'd be really cool if you could video it and send it back into us. So if you're going to do this instant freeze water experiment, you'll need 2 unopened bottles of water, you'll need a big bowl, you'll need a bag of ice, you'll need a thermometer, and you'll need some salt, but rock salt, not table salt, you need rock salt, okay? Don't hassle your adults to do this, but if you want to give it a try, you can. If not, you can find some videos on YouTube that shows you instant freeze water. Okay, I look forward to the work that you're producing, boys and girls, and looking forward to seeing you next week.